Hey there, welcome to DIY Projects with Pete. Today we're going to build a full-length mirror. This is a fun and simple project that's going to cost you under $100 to build. Now, if you need a few brownie points, this is also going to score a couple. Maybe you've been spending a little bit too much time out hunting this fall or up in the man cave. So this, I'm sure, will win a few points, eh?
Definitely, for sure.
All right, if you enjoy watching this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Let's go ahead and look at the tools and supplies you'll need for today's project. For the main tools, you'll need to pick up or borrow a miter saw, circular saw, drill, and sander. And for supplies, you'll need a mirror, some 2x6 boards, and screws. First, you'll want to pick out a mirror for the project. I found a mirror measuring 5 feet by 3 feet for $59 at the Home Depot. Next, measure and cut the boards according to the measurements in the plans at DIYpete.com/mirror. I had some old redwood deck boards laying around and decided to reclaim them. However, you could simply pick up some pine 2x6 boards at the hardware store and stain, paint, or distress them to your liking. If you're reclaiming old boards, I'd recommend running them through a planer. Make sure they're free of nails so you don't dull the blades on the planer. The planer made the old gray decking come to life, and it had a lot of character. You can use a hand planer or a joiner to clean up the sides if you're reclaiming old wood. Now just take a look at some of the boards and decide what you want to be facing the front. This has a little bit more character, in my opinion, than the back side, and so I'm going to use that for the front. Then just go ahead and look at the rest of the boards and put them into place. Now that you have the general layout figured out, you can start attaching the boards to each other using your method of choice. I used a Kreg jig to create pocket holes for connecting the boards. Adjust the Kreg jig to the 1.5-inch stock settings and drill 3 holes on both ends of the shorter boards. Use a combination of wood glue and screws at each of the joints. I used 2.5-inch Kreg screws for this process, and continue around each corner until all the boards are connected. Then wipe away any excess glue using a damp rag. To make the project possible for the DIYer without a router, I created a lip or frame for the mirror to sit in out of 1/4-inch strips of wood. Measure 1.5 inches out from the inside of the 2x6 boards to determine where the mirror will sit, and the strips will be attached. And I want to give a shout out to our friend and fellow DIYer, Jared Duncan, from Personally Yours Home Furnishings, for sending us this awesome sign. It's a customized DIY Projects with Pete sign. They make all sorts of personalized signs, so I'm going to have a link below if you're interested in getting your own. Then center the mirror and temporarily put it into place. Attach the strips around the mirror to the back of the 2x6 using wood glue and nails. The mirror should sit in the frame pretty snug. Next, measure and mark the size for the backing board. Cut the masonite board backing for the mirror down to size using a circular saw or a table saw. This backing will help hold the mirror in place. You could use the same material for the strips if you'd like. Then do a quick sanding of the frame using 220 grit sandpaper on an orbital sander to smooth everything out. Then finish the wood with stain, paint, or a sealer. I brushed on 3 thin coats of polyurethane from Minwax to bring out the character of the wood. Now, if you're using basic pine, you'll probably want to stain or paint the frame before sealing it. You might even think about patinaing the wood with a mixture of steel wool and vinegar to give new wood an aged look. Once the final coat of finish has dried and you've done the final sanding, apply a thin bead of silicone caulk to adhere the mirror to the frame. Apply it away from the edge so excess doesn't push out and get on the mirror. Slowly put the mirror into place and make sure it sits within the frame made out of the wood strips. When the mirror is in, apply some more silicone caulk around on the wood strips and to the back of the mirror. Center the backing into place and then attach the backing using a staple gun. And that's all there is to it. All right, thanks so much for tuning in to DIY Projects with Pete. I hope you enjoyed learning how to build a full-length mirror. It's a fun project. I know you like it.
I love it, it's great.
And it's sure to win brownie points with that special gal in your life. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Best of luck with your projects, and cheers from Montana. I invite you to check out some of the other videos on the channel. Click on the left thumbnail to learn how to build a cutting board, and on the right thumbnail to see how to create a chalkboard coat rack. Cheers!